Oh my God, Prudence! How horrible! I was about to propose. But I don't understand. She and I didn't have a meeting arranged today. It is true that we sometimes meet in the park, but there was no arrangement for this morning.
But we're told he's right-handed. So he's not lying. So that means someone impersonated him.
That's very odd indeed. Prudence was a patient here, but wasn't given this prescription. There's no reason that she should be carrying such a packet.
So she wasn't implying that it was... someone is getting attacked out there. Implying that it was... Oh, hello, do we have more to work with you?
An unfortunate incident. One of my patients became overexcited.
Which patient? Because I suspect that that might be the Mr. Baxter, and therefore there was some effect being had. Anything up here? Oh, of course, there's something in the next room. Which we haven't looked in yet. There it is. It glows. It sparkles. Baxter now appears to be totally reliant on the treatment. He consumes far more than the prescribed dosage and is constantly demanding more. In addition, he's become alarmingly aggressive, going so far as to assault me physically. Furthermore, he has recklessly seduced several women over the past few weeks.
Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
Which then, oh yes, it's the other patient. It's the other patient is the person who did it. He's become more aggressive. He's gone out and seduced women, in particular this one, but either through jealousy or whatever, he's... I do hope that a professional relationship does not preclude a closer rapport. That's Claire Knight. So there's... she, of course, does have her own... that's the thing. Well, the thing is she was brutally stabbed, so I assume it's the other patient. But, yes, I was thinking maybe she'd have something to do with it.
You appreciate, I'm sure, that I cannot discuss the condition of any of my patients.
Hang on a minute. What was the note? Well, let's read the note again. Is it this one? No. There's a note somewhere. Was it over here? Or was it the letter to her?
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
No, that wasn't quite right. Let's find it. Let's find the letter I'm looking for. Where is it? Where is it? No, it's over here, isn't it? I would ask you to please suspend Mr. Shelby's prescription. So I suspect that she maybe didn't suspend the prescription.
Mr. Baxter apparently attacked the doctor yesterday. It was after hours, but the doctor did have a cut on his cheek. Poor man.
And what about Baxter?
Dr. Alton makes house calls to see him. Baxter doesn't come into the office. I make up the prescriptions and he picks them up at noon when I'm away at lunch.
Okay. I'd like to investigate that, but alright.
I'm quite angry, actually. I was having such terrific results. I felt like a new man. Much more vigorous and outgoing. But the doctor has ended the prescription altogether for no reason.
So it was ended. Okay, so it was ended, so she's not done it via him. Right, well, let's go to the other house. That might give us some more insight. I'm leaning towards the patient there, although that of course might be incorrect. Ooh. Right. Hello.
Prudence and I are engaged to be married. I'm desperate to see her. She should be by any moment. She had something important to tell me. I'm worried she's going to break off the engagement.
Yes. Well?
Prudence has been so distant lately. I believe she has a misplaced affection for her doctor, the cad. I would make a much more appropriate husband, and the wedding is planned.
You sound like such a wonderful fellow, using such words. And such reasoning. I'm surprised she's not interested in you anymore. Right, upstairs then maybe. Unless maybe he got wind of it, and so decided to end it. Dearest Gilbert, I have something of the utmost importance to tell you. I shall call tomorrow at noon. Please, dear Gilbert, I know that whatever I have to say, I would always hold you in the highest esteem. Your Prudence. Gives Prudence his address. Aha! New place to investigate. Right. How do I do this? That's not... no. Oh, no. Ah! Stop it. Wait, what's in here? Oh, no. Or you can just ignore the button press that said enter. Fair enough. That's completely reasonable. Maybe. I think this is the problem. Is the game doesn't have good controls, and has never really had good controls. It's still very kind of somewhat context sensitive, so there are times where the game just kind of ignores the buttons you press. Right. Unless maybe there's someone at home who's got some impact. I still don't know. That's not what I wanted to do, but alright. My lender's accountant. Right, so actually. No. No, I didn't want to press that. No, I didn't want to do that. No. We were fast running down. That's what I told you to do. No, you pressed the B button. It means you wanted me to push him out for no reason. No. Wait, where is it? Where's the... How do we get in there? Where's the door that's open to get me in there? There isn't one. Okay. We'll go here. This is not the right place. Where am I trying to get to?
Someone help me.
Is it further up? I think it might be further up. Not that we can see. Right. This is really not well done. There's a note. Unsent letter, Dr. Dalton. Dearest Trevor, I must tell you that this evening something unsettling occurred. After our tete-a-tete in the park, I set off for home, all the while thinking of you. But suddenly a young woman appeared and began to berate me in the street, never ceasing to shout insults and shameful allegations involving someone named Baxter. Isn't that the patient you've had such trouble with? Oh, my dear, I managed to slip away, but it was so terribly upsetting. But now I see that it is too late to post this, and I'll see you tomorrow in any case, my love. So she thought she was meeting him. He said he wasn't going to meet her, or he was fairly sure he wasn't going to meet her. I'll have a look at this in a moment. So either it's his nurse/secretary has sent a message on, and then killed her. This is the thing, is the only person we know which hand they use is Dr. Alton, because of the note he wrote. We know that was with the right hand. So he's ruled out. The problem is, almost everyone has a motive. So it's me kind of working on... Like, I don't think Gilbert would do it, because I think he still sees it as a possibility that they could get married. So, that's not a case. So we can ignore that. So it's not him. So it's basically at the moment between... The patient and the nurse, although there's a suspect here as well. The suspect, it might well be the case, but I don't know. I hold Gilbert in the greatest esteem, but I simply cannot imagine marriage and all it entails. I've seen so little of the world. I've begun to see a doctor in an attempt to calm my nerves and concentrate my mind. Dr. Alton is kind and gentle, and the solicitous manner with which he listens is as beneficial as any medication. Oh, what a rapturous night! The timid Dr. Trevor Alton has surprising depths. We had a chance encounter in the park, whereupon he began to speak with me with such intensity and passion I was quite swept up. Soon his ardent kisses took my breath away. Could it be that I found love at last? And what then of my engagement to Gilbert? My feelings for Trevor, it seems so silly to call him Dr. Alton now, are as strong as ever, but mixed with concern. He's become moody, even tormented. He complains of his experimental treatments and of his patients. I've told him that I plan to break things off with Gilbert. Trevor and I are to meet in the park this morning. Is a proposal in the offing? If he does propose, oh, please let it be so. I shall go directly to Gilbert and break it off with him. A swift, sharp break is best for everyone. There's another... What did it say? Rapturous night, break off engagement, woman outside. Which seems to imply... Are you in here, love? No. Oh, you're down here, are you? I assume rather than suspect, it's just a person to talk to, is it? Ah! Are you the woman outside?
I saw her kissing my man in the park, didn't I? I followed her to this street yesterday, but lost her. I'll come every day if need be, until I catch her again. That trollop better promise to let him alone, or I'll give her what for.
What?
He's all mine, I tell
Baxter.
you. All the girls want a bit of Baxter, but they can't have him. You ask him yourself. He lives just that way.
Oh. Oh, all locations are not. What? She's given me another location. She's given me another place to investigate. Hasn't she? The park? Told not. So why are these greyed out? Why is some greyed out and some not? I mean, oh dear. I can accuse her. I mean, we've done everything here, and there's no one to question. I'll see if there's other questions to go on in these other places, but I don't think that... Oh, Bax's house. So I've unlocked it, but I've not actually been... Oh, that's the thing. Once you've unlocked all the areas, and you can go to them, you can skip it, but I still want to go to Bax's house, because that might provide us a bit more information on things. And that was one that was greyed out, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Never mind. So it might be that the people... There's a possibility I can talk to people. Oh, it was that woman outside. So she thought there was a thing going on between... She plans to break her engagement because of you. I won't have it. I shall marry her myself. At least that way she'll remain a respectable woman. Written by a right-handed man. So, I'm assuming that's Baxter. So, Baxter's right-handed. We've not met him, and I don't think he's here. So... I can't extinguish your life, so I shall extinguish hers. Written by a left-handed man. Oh dear. I wonder if there's a degree of Jekyll and Hyde going on with the experimentation going on, but also there's the right-handed person who uses the side who uses the right-handed is the good, and the left-handed is obviously the sinister. Obviously. I won't have it. I shall marry her myself. She'll remain a respectable woman. If I can't kill you, I'll kill her, left-handed. I always get what I want is my due, left-handed. She means nothing to you. You're a monster of my own making. Written by a right-handed man. Baxter's not a real person, is he? Is he? You're nothing but a burden to me, a pathetic, snivelling burden. If only I could be rid of you. Left-handed man. Baxter's Alton, isn't it? That's why he's not here. Many empty paper packets, they have residue of powder on them.
I believe I should re-interrogate a suspect.
Yes. There's another one and it's here. Is there one missing? Identical to the one found in the precinct. One is missing. Right, we need to go and interrogate someone again. So I'm going to... And he said he had taken him off prescription. And Baxter came for them when the nurse was out. Yes. Right, in that case, I'm assuming it's lit up because there's something else to investigate. So we'll go to Gilbert's house. Assuming that that's any kind of the kind of sense of logic he has, which seems to be the case. Because I'm now suspecting that it might be Dr. Alton who should be arrested. Because he was saying, I didn't have her down. I wasn't supposed to meet her. But it was written in that they were going to meet in her diary. So that implies that she thought they were going to meet. Now, so her person was Baxter, the woman we met before. So logically, it brings in a... Yes, it's Jekyll and Hyde.
I've never heard of such a man.
Well, that was useless. So Baxter was trying to use... was actually using Dr. Alton's name to seduce some people, was he? Seems to be the case.
That medicine was developed by Dr. Alton specifically for one of our patients, Mr. Shelby. But he's been using it for another patient as well.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't, has he? Right. Baxter does not exist, does he, sir? That was a bit mean, saying it like that. But I'm fairly sure... J'accuse.
Oh God, it's true. I couldn't help myself. The powder unleashed a creature within me. He seduced the innocent Prudence and then killed her to prevent us from marrying. It's too horrible.
I knew something was amiss with the medical powder, but didn't understand until you found those papers. Well done.
You're 7, I think. Why are you... How can you just figure these things out? Oh, yes, it was... Yes, the medicine was clearly involved. Dr. Trevor Alton's experimental medication seemed to be so successful in one of his patients, he tried it himself and created a monster. Going under the name of Hyde, Baxter, this second drug-altered personality lived a wild, scandalous life, seducing women as he went. The unsuspecting Prudence Brown, believing him to be Dr. Alton, fell in love with the passionate Baxter. Meanwhile, Baxter continued his seductions, which included the possessive Lulu, who later followed Prudence, planning to threaten her. Horrified by Baxter's actions, Dr. Alton resolved to marry Prudence in order to save her reputation. Baxter, however, would not have his freedom curtailed in any way and arranged to meet... I assume it was a meeting and they got changed to meet. Arranged to meet Miss Brown in the park, where he viciously murdered her, a crime for which Dr. Alton will pay the price. Assume Robert Louis Stevenson was reading that. Yeah. I mean, it was interesting, but it's the story of Jekyll and Hyde. gonna follow him. I'm gonna follow him. Where do you go? So yes, the story of Jekyll and Hyde. So Dr. Jekyll tried to make himself the best person he could be, most moral. So he came up with this potion. But instead of actually creating...
I believe it's that way, sir. That way? Indeed. My thanks.
Oh, he's just a child, is he now? He's just a random child. But instead of making him better, it created basically an evil side to him, who actually is physically smaller than Dr. Jekyll, is Mr. Hyde. He's stunted, and ugly, and kind of frail to some extent. But in most things with him, he basically turns into the Incredible Hulk and just grows and expands and becomes musclier George, which is just completely ridiculous. He says about a story which involves a man drinking a potion to split off, which then splits him into two personalities.